So we are...
So right now, we're in the west filter area. There's 10 filters on each side. These ones were installed in the 1930s.
Gord Mitchell runs the City of Toronto's largest water treatment plant. With labor shortages these days, keeping it running is always top of mind.
How critical is it to make sure that this place is always staffed?
It's absolutely critical. We can't function without our staff. Our plant runs 24/7. You know, we really have to maintain our service to the City of Toronto for fire protection, for public health, for all the reasons that people enjoy our clean drinking water.
Workers here and in every field are in huge demand. So for the first time ever, Toronto Water recently ran a recruitment drive.
Come join Toronto Water.
You
can
make a difference.
Hitting social media platforms to target younger people.
I'm proud to work for Toronto Water.
Knowing boomers are about to make the job boom even harder to fill.
And demographics, retirement, has that affected you guys much?
It's been a slow trickle, I would say, but you know, you see the oncoming tsunami maybe down the road and not that long. We have a lot of staff, over 30 years of service. Luckily, it's a great place to work. People don't want to leave, but you know, sooner or later, everyone leaves. And I see that over the next little while being a greater challenge maybe than historically it has been, for sure.
Mitchell might be worried about workers about to leave, but the statistics show hundreds of thousands have already left.
How much of a role do demographics play in the labor shortage that we're seeing?
Robert Kavcik is a senior economist with the Bank of Montreal.
I would say demographics are the single biggest factor. We're losing probably about 300,000 people per year right now just to retirement or near retirement.
A record number of Canadians have left the workforce at a time, Kavcik says, when more workers are needed to meet the post-lockdown demand for goods and services.
Regardless of the age cohort, participation in Canada is pretty much back to where it was pre-COVID, if not higher, across every age category. So it's not a case of people not wanting to work. People are back to work, participation is back, employment has fully recovered. This is a much bigger structural issue that's going on with the demographics of the job market.
We are now going to go to part of our expansion manufacturing facility.
Expanding a business while the workforce is shrinking might sound unlikely, but it's happening here.
So this is proof that you guys were not only surviving, you're growing.
Jason Tasse runs Lee Valley Tools and its manufacturing arm, Veritas. Business boomed during the pandemic as more people took up hobbies like gardening and woodworking. The strategy for the Ottawa-based company has been to keep growing.
So how many people have you hired in the last year?
So across both companies, we've hired 230 employees, 130 just in manufacturing alone, and the rest on the retail side and head office side.
There are a lot of draws, good compensation and benefits. Automated machinery like this sanding robot to make the work itself less menial. But critical to it all is flexible shifts. And on the manufacturing side especially, hiring newcomers with no experience and encouraging them to bring in friends and family too.
So what we're seeing here now is more on-the-job training?
So this is a great example of our strategy to bring people in who don't have specific manufacturing work experience. So as long as they have that desire and keenness to learn, we're willing to bring you in and teach you how to operate.
So basically, if somebody's willing to work, you're willing to have them.
Yeah.
The company's retail side is staffed traditionally with older workers. Most left during the pandemic because of health safety concerns. But incentives like seasonal work contracts and flexible shifts are bringing them back. And some of the boomers who recently retired from other fields are ending up here too.
Most commonly with retirement, people after they get the list done and the travel's underway is they're looking for something. And if we could plug back into that flexible workforce plan, give people the opportunity to come back on their own terms, we see it as a big opportunity. And the number of baby boomers retiring right now is pretty significant. So it's a good match for us.
And you used all those kind of strategies to get them, and it's paid off.
I feel like we're ahead of the curve.
Staying ahead of the retirement curve can be a full-time job in itself. The City of Toronto isn't just hiring at its water treatment facility. Constant construction has created vacancies for engineers and city planners too. The city is bumping up pay where it can to compete with the private sector and offering flexible and hybrid work arrangements, says city spokesman Brad Ross.
So retaining the talent we have and attracting new talent, young talent, right? Because people are going to retire, people are going to move, so we need to continue to keep that pipeline open.
The city hasn't been hit with a big wave of retirements yet, but it knows it's coming.
How critical is it to keep that pipeline open, especially since boomers are retiring at record numbers?
It's absolutely critical. So in addition to just having an immediate need, we do need to be strategic. We do need to look ahead.
Back at the water plant, Mitchell hopes his team will keep growing.
This is the best place in Toronto to work, but maybe not everyone sees that from the ad and from the paper, right? And I think that's why we made the video, to show people how great Toronto Water is to work at.
The economy is expected to cool, which will ease some pressure. But an aging workforce means people will keep retiring, and that means employers here and elsewhere will keep hiring. Joanna Brumeliotis, CBC News, Toronto.